Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cal Poly Symphony's Student Soloist Showcase, our annual celebration of student talent across the university. This quarter, the Cal Poly Symphony has, again, been rehearsing as a hybrid ensemble, meaning that we've had a small string group inside, winds and brass outside, and many people joining us via Zoom. But I'm very excited because tonight, for the first time, we will have in-person strings, in-person winds and brass, all together at the same time in the same place in the Performing Arts Center. Now, this is the first time the strings and the winds and brass have seen each other all quarter, so wish us luck. Tonight, you'll be hearing 4 pieces. A piece for just the winds and brass, Gordon Jacobs' Old Wine in New Bottles. A piece for just the strings, Edvard Grieg's 2 Elegiac Melodies. And 2 pieces for soloist and full orchestra. Gioacchino Rossini's Introduction, Theme, and Variations for clarinet and orchestra, featuring Kiran Manikonda on clarinet, and Ludwig van Beethoven's 3rd Piano Concerto, First Movement, featuring Grant Smith on piano. You'll see video segments put together by our student officers, a glimpse inside of our rehearsal process, and also interviews with our soloists. But let's turn to our first piece. This is Gordon Jacobs' Old Wine in New Bottles. This has been a year-long survey of the 4 movements of this piece. In the fall, we did the first movement, and for this concert, we're doing movements 2 and 3. Movement 2 is the 3 Ravens, and movement 3 is Begone, Dull Care. Both of these are old English folk songs, the old wine, put into a more modern setting, the new bottles. Enjoy.
So, symphony looks a little different this year, but we've been able to adapt, learn by doing, and find ways to still play together, whether that be in person or online through Zoom. And there are a few guidelines that we have to follow, like keeping our chairs 6 feet apart, or letting the room that we rehearse in air out every 30 minutes or so we got to take breaks outside.
Good.
It's really exciting to be able to play in the Performing Arts Center again. The winds and strings have had to rehearse separately all quarter, so it's really great to have everyone together while we record our final concert.
One more time, everybody's got his feet. Here we go, 1 and 2.
And while it's not the same as performing for an audience, making a recording that we feel proud of has been really rewarding.
Now you need to work together to have direction and intensity in the live. Here we go.
This quarter, we've had the privilege of playing with 2 amazing soloists. Even though the soloist competition happens every winter, this year was unique in that we had to rely on recordings of each other until today, when the soloist, winds, and strings could all finally play together. We're really grateful for this opportunity to continue doing what we love, and we're thankful for everyone who's tuned in to watch our concert.
There is a silver lining to rehearsing separately, strings inside, winds and brass outside, and that's that they can rehearse and perform music written just for them. We've heard the piece written just for winds and brass. Now it's time to hear the piece written just for strings. This is Edvard Grieg's 2 Elegiac Melodies. In fact, it's 2 melodies, 2 songs that Grieg wrote for voice and piano, and then later orchestrated for string orchestra. The first of these 2 songs is The Wounded Heart, and this describes the pain and suffering that most of us go through during life, but also the fact that we persevere through all of that. The second song is The Last Spring, and this is a celebration of nature coming awake again in spring after a hard and cold winter. And this is not just a celebration of these things, but in the song at least, it's the realization that this spring might be the singer's last. So, I grew up hearing this music, but I grew up hearing it in its most popular form, and that's the form you'll hear tonight, string orchestra. I think it fits our ensemble perfectly. And now it's time for our soloists. This is a student soloist showcase after all, and it was very important for us this year to do as many things as possible the same as always. So, just like always, we held auditions in the fall for a chance to perform with the orchestra this quarter, and we have 2 fantastic winners. First off is Kiran Manikonda, playing Gioacchino Rossini's Introduction, Theme, and Variations for clarinet and orchestra. Then we'll have Grant Smith, playing Ludwig van Beethoven's 3rd Piano Concerto, first movement. Grant, because he plays piano, was able to rehearse with our in-person strings all quarter, which was fantastic. Kiran, because he plays clarinet, could not be in the same space as our in-person strings, so tonight, for the first time all quarter, we will be together. Wish us luck, again. So 2 fantastic soloists, 2 interesting people as well. So next up is the first of 2 interviews put together by our student officers with our 2 soloists. And this is an interview with Kiran Manikonda.
Hi there, my name is Kiran Manikonda. I'm a computer engineering major and I've been playing the clarinet for 7 years. So in my elementary school, we had this quote-unquote band program, and it had like 7 or 8 people, and it was run by this one guy who was close to retiring. So basically, this guy came to every classroom, he played every instrument, and he asked us to consider joining. So when he was playing every instrument, he played the clarinet. It had shiny keys. Me like shiny, therefore I joined. So the reason I applied for the solo competition this year was because Keith Weibel, he's the clarinet guy at Poly. He wanted me to try auditioning, so I did that, and I apparently got it.
So what are you currently doing in your major?
So currently I'm taking CPE 333. I think it's a really interesting class because throughout the class you build parts of a RISC-V MCU. RISC-V is a type of computer architecture, and MCU stands for microcontroller unit. So basically by the end of the class you have close to working, if not working, MCU, which I think is really cool.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I'd like to thank the audience for watching, and this has been a really cool opportunity. I hope we don't have to wear a mask again in a couple months.
Hi, my name is Grant Smith. Blech.
Try to get
Yeah. My name is Grant Smith. I'm a music and civil engineering double major here at Cal Poly in my 4th year. And I've been playing piano since I was 5 years old, so pretty much my whole life. How I started playing piano. It's an interesting story, actually. My aunt found an upright piano at a yard sale, so she called my parents and said, hey, you should get this piano. And so they went and picked it up, but neither of them play, and I was only 3, so I started, messing around on it. And then eventually they were like, we should just have them start taking lessons because someone should learn to play this thing. So I started taking lessons when I was 5, and then over time, really got into it, and by the time I was in high school, I was just playing all the time. So then we replaced the old upright piano with a grand piano, which was much nicer to play. I wanted to do the solo competition for a couple reasons. First being, it's just fun to play with an orchestra. I mean, I think that sounds like a fun thing to do for any musician. But also, especially for pianists, because pianists, we practice by ourselves in our cold practice rooms, and we don't get as many opportunities to play with other people. So playing with a large group of people is just a really special experience. I had the pleasure of working with Dr. Terry Spiller here at Cal Poly on preparing this piece. Learned a lot from him in those lessons. And then also last fall, I took a few lessons from an Italian concert pianist, Gloria Campanera. Through a special arrangement with the university, Dr. Spiller was on sabbatical, and Ms. Confinier had mentioned that she wanted to be involved with our music department in some way, so I got to take lessons from her for the quarter, and she gave me some really good tips on this concerto. The most exciting thing in my civil engineering major right now is I'm working on my senior project, and for that we are designing some upgrades to the San Luis Obispo Airport, which include a new parking garage and an extension of the runway 900 feet. And I'm the structural lead for our team, so there's a lot of work for me to do there in the next 2 months.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just thanks to everyone for watching this concert. I really enjoyed working on it with the symphony, and I hope you enjoy listening.
you.